So today we are going to look at how to construct an isometric drawing of this diagram. That's converting this diagram to isometric view. And one of the first things you do is to find out, to understand the diagram itself. Is it first angle orthographic projection or third angle orthographic projection? So for this, it's what we are given is the front and the end elevation. So whether it's first angle doesn't really matter in this case. So we know the front. The front is the first one, while the end elevation has to be the circular part. Now we draw our axis, which is the next thing we do. Draw our axis, set your ruler and your set square in this manner so that you'll be able to get your 30-60. Alright, so we have our axis. Now we'll make a box of that shape. We are told that the lowest point, which is another thing you need to consider, what's the lowest point of this diagram? So we are told the lowest point is the longest side towards the left. So that becomes our lowest point, and then we can start building from there. So what's the total length of that longest side? It's 10 plus 60 plus 10, which is 80. So we are going to measure 80 and mark it out. So that's 80. All right. And for the other side, you have the circle having a diameter of 60 millimeters, meaning the total length of that other side will be 60 millimeters. So we're going to mark that side also 60. Then we can now start building our box. And building the box is just simple. Position your set square with your ruler in such a way that it will give you a vertical line. All right. You come to this other end to and do likewise. Now, what's the total height? What's the height of the whole diagram? If this is 60 and it's a radius, that means the height and the length and the height will be the same, meaning it will have to be 60 all through. So we are just going to mark 60 throughout. The reason why it looks like I'm putting the mark on 7 is because I'm starting from 1 instead of 0. The set square is designed to start from 1 instead of 0, so we'll just add another number to it. That's 7. All right, I'll close it up to complete the box. Now we have to get this other side to complete the box. We have to get another line parallel to this line. Let's get that. I'm making use of my 30-60 set square so that it will give me the perfect slant. All right. So you can see this, it has given me something parallel to this. Now I want to get the other side parallel to that end. And I'm going to use the other side of my, just take note of how I'm placing my set square, because it will be very important and very needed for you. Okay, now you can confirm from after measuring to be sure that all the measurements are correct. So this is 60, this is also 60. All right, and you can see it looks like a box. Now let's start reflecting the diagram on that part. Now you'll notice that even though this diagram looks like it is all rectangles and all that, but this first side is actually a circular, the side of a circular object. All right, so instead of drawing a rectangle around this side, it's going to be a circle. That means the other face, the side of this shape will be circular. So let's get to it. How do you get the isometric circle on this face? It's easy. The first thing is get the centers of each of these sides. All right. So I'm going to get the centers of each of them. That is, for this, the center is on 3. I've marked the center, so what I'm going to do, I will join the 2 longest corners. Then I'll join the 2 shortest corners. And I'll do what we call a V and an A. So I'm going to do a V here from this center to the short corner, another V from this center to short corner, then an A from this corner to another A from this corner to this center. All right. Now, if it's properly done, you see all this will meet at a point and all this will meet at a point. Next, you get your compass and put with your pencil. Start from this corner. Extend your compass to the center here. And draw a curve from that center to this other center. Alright, and you reduce your compass, come to this confluence where all the lines meet. Extend it to the next center. You can see we have covered all the centers now. We have our isometric circle. Alright. Then we need to deal with the thickness so as to give us what that thing is referring to. So next, we're going to redo all this. Okay, we'll redo all this in order to get the next isometric. So what's the distance between this face and the other face? That's 10. According to the question, the thickness of that circle is 10. So what we're going to do is measure 10. Measure out 10. This is 10. Alright, measure 10 at the bottom. So we are going to recreate this isometric box so that we can get another isometric circle. We'll go through the same process of getting the centers of each of them. In fact, one of the easiest ways is to use your compass, extend it to the center, and you apply that for every one of them. So from here, take it that this is my center, and from here, I make this my center. So we have the centers now for each side. We're going to join them. First of all, we'll join the axis, this axis, and this other axis is joined. Then we'll join the centers to the axis. A slight error in this area can affect the entire diagram, so make sure do your best to make sure it's as accurate as possible. All right, and make sure it is thin. Mine is a little thick because I want you guys to be able to see it in the video. Otherwise, if I'm doing it personally, it will be thinner than this. And it won't be as thick as this. So, I think I can see my shapes. Now, before you start drawing, you need to know the part that is necessary. We won't need the entire circle. That will be a waste of time. What we need is just a part that we can now, that needs to show. So it's just this part and half of this with half of this that is necessary. And let me show you how. So just like I did in the other one, I'll put my compass here, extend it to the center. And what would I do next? So I'm going to join the midpoint of this with the midpoint of this using a straight line. The midpoint of this and the midpoint of this. Midpoint of the longest side, right? I'll come to this side too. The midpoint of this side, the midpoint of this side. I'll join both of them together. So you don't join one curve with another curve using a curve. You first get your isometric circle, then you join using a line. So you can see the shape is already taking shape. Now we have to do the same thing at the back. It can be quite stressful, but it's what we have to do. So I'm going to repeat this same thing at the back here so that we can now join using some other things. All right. Now for this, only this side